Hello and welcome back to the Bright Light Wellness YouTube channel and the Bright Light Wellness Substack as well. So today I want to chat with you guys about now is the time. Now is the real time for new beginnings. It's the real, true new spring is the real new year. It's the time when everything starts blooming. It's the time when we can set real new goals for the real year. Astrologically, Aries is actually the real new year. So the beginning of the zodiac, the astrological wheel, Aries, which is, beginning of, end of March, beginning of April. That is the real new year. So now is the time for real new beginnings, right? The spring, the sun is returning, the light is returning, the days are getting longer, the UV index is increasing, the animals are coming out of hibernation, everything is coming into bloom, and so are we. This is the real new beginning, the time for us to start really setting goals and expectations for ourselves, really get into transformation, have more energy. And now is the time also to start learning how to use light as medicine. If you've been hibernating in the dark all winter, hopefully, now is the time to come out and get back into the sunlight and to do this gradually and appropriately. Okay. But this is the real new beginning, the real new time for transformation. Okay. So today I want to talk to you about how now is the time to start building your solar adaptation. Okay. Everybody celebrates the new year in January. Biologically, our bodies know the real new, real reset happens in the spring. Spring is when the sun returns, the light spectrum changes, and life on Earth begins to wake up. Okay. So this is also when our biology expects us to start building our relationship again with sunlight. We've been in the dark. Now we're returning to the light. It's a very miasmatically, a very syphilitic to psychotic transformation, actually. This is our time to start rebuilding our relationship with light. Now is the time to start learning how to use sunlight as medicine. It's also the time to get your digestive system really start moving through lighter foods, more bitter greens, more, your dandelion roots, your asparagus is coming up, your garlic shoots, your arugula, your did I say garlic shoots, your dandelion, all of your bitter greens. Now is the time for a little bit less eating, lighter eating, um, more greens, lighter than heavy, dense winter foods, right? But it's also the time, like I said, to start utilizing sunlight as medicine because we can start building up that solar callus again, that solar adaptation. So January 1st is a cultural new year, but the new year really begins at the spring equinox. So light exposure begins to increase rapidly. Plants begin photosynthesis again. Animals change behaviors and hormones. And humans, we're no different. You know, the circadian rhythms reset, hormone shifts begin, metabolism increases in response to light, mitochondria respond to longer daylight. Spring sunlight acts as like a biological signal telling the body it's time to repair, to regenerate, and to rebuild energy. So we really want to start building up this solar adaptation this time of year. And this is your body's natural adaptation to sunlight. Just like lifting weights, we build muscle. Walking barefoot builds a callus on your feet, right? Gradual sun exposure builds tolerance and resilience to sunlight. So this includes increased melanin production, the beautiful tan that you see when you build up solar adaptation. Your body builds melanin in its melanocytes, which is in the skin cells. The body does that because it helps you have your own natural built-in sunscreen. Okay. It helps your body have improved mitochondria function, okay, better cellular hydration, and increased antioxidant capacity. Your skin literally becomes more intelligent at handling sunlight as you build the solar adaptation. And the really big problem here is that we've lost our tolerance to sunlight. So modern life has disconnected us from sunlight. Most people stay indoors. They stay indoors all winter. We should still be going out throughout the winter. We live under artificial blue lights and, LEDs, fluorescence. We avoid the sun. We got the sunglasses, the hats, the coats. I was out the other day. I'll tell a little quick story. It was a beautiful sunny day. It was like 70 degrees, not so much today. It's cold and cloudy. It's back to like 30 degrees and cold and cloudy. That's kind of how things go this time of year in where I live. And I'm out in some shorts and a tank top, and the guy looks at me as I'm walking, and he's like, looks at me and he goes, something's not right here, because he was dressed in a vest and pants and a sweatshirt, and I was like, I'm like, because I'm outside throughout the winter. When it gets warmer, my metabolism is fired up. It's like, I don't need a lot of clothes. Like I can handle 70 degrees is warm to me. So like, yeah, but everybody else is still hibernating. They're still not like, they're still hiding their skin from the sun. They're not realizing this shift because we're so disconnected. Okay. So people avoid the sun and then suddenly expose themselves in the summer. So they don't build up their solar callus or their solar adaptation through spring. And then all of a sudden, right, they just go outside and they burn because you're meant to you're meant to be outside in sunlight every day. So as the UV index increases, your skin adapts. So you get the signal and you just keep adapting, 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 right? Um, and people burn because not because the sun is dangerous, it's because the body was never allowed to adapt gradually. Nature intended us to build a sun tolerance slowly across spring, so this is the time to do that. Okay. Spring sunlight is so powerful because we have the beautiful, infrared light in the morning time at the sunrise and the sunset. That's when infrared is available literally all day long. And if you haven't listened to any of my videos on infrared and how important it is, please do so. There's the UV light that's starting to increase. So we'll have in my latitude, UVB finally coming back on. It's been coming back on, but now it's starting to intensify and lengthen throughout the day. And this infrared light and the red light, they charge our mitochondria. Okay, they improve cellular hydration. So actually, on cytochrome 4 in the mitochondrial electron transport chain, red light will actually help you have more cellular hydration or make more exclusion zone water. Um, and it charges the mitochondria, so more ATP production, and actually has more cellular repair. So remember, people say, oh, UV light is bad for us and it causes, cellular damage. Well, UV light is never in isolation. Okay. It's going to have red and infrared frequencies in it also. Sunlight, not like the studies done, sunlight has a whole spectrum. So there's also red and infrared light in there that help the cells produce what's called subcellular melatonin, which balances, it's a major built-in repair mechanism, an antioxidant, which balances the UV and the red balanced together. The UV potential damaging is balanced by the infrared repairing. Okay. So that's why sunlight it's not in isolation, it's in a beautiful balanced package. And the more you build your melanin, your solar adaptation, your tan, your own body's natural own sunscreen, the less of that's not even an issue anymore. Okay. That's why we need to adapt to sunlight appropriately. Okay. Um, and again, that early morning light of that sunrise light and the UVA light, but particularly that sunrise light window that's rich in the infrared and red light frequencies, it's going to prepare the skin for stronger UV light later on in the day. So it builds up in this sequence. We can't just like jump out in the middle of the day. Okay. So early season sunlight acts like a training for the skin and the nervous system. And of course, sunlight is way more than vitamin D. Of course, vitamin D, we're going to start getting that. We synthesize vitamin D when we put our skin in UVB sunlight, and it takes that cholesterol that we have, that LDL cholesterol, and it synthesizes it into vitamin D or hormone D. Vitamin D is actually a hormone D, and it takes that and it sulfates it throughout the entire body, throughout every protein it touches, and it moves it directly where it needs to go. So we need LDL cholesterol. We also need vitamin A. Vitamin A is also a cofactor. So we need healthy vitamin A in our diet as well. LDL cholesterol, and then UVB sunlight. We can make hormone D or vitamin D. But it's not just about vitamin D. Sunlight also controls cortisol rhythms, melatonin production, serotonin and dopamine levels, metabolism, mitochondrial energy production, fat burning. Yep, you burn more fat when you're in sunlight. There's mechanisms in POMC, which I have videos on as well. You could look up my video on POMC that's on this channel. You can learn about that. Um, Helps with glucose metabolism, immune function like inflammation control, microbiome balancing. Yes, your gut microbiome actually shifts with the seasons and it shifts with exposure to light. Okay. And I said immune signaling and immune control. Sunlight is a full body regulatory signal. It is extremely important for you to use. It's a non-negotiable on any healing journey that when I work with people, that we have to get them to be able, if they can't tolerate sunlight, or if they're not using sunlight for there's other obstacles, we have to get them to start using sunlight as a healing modality. So again, melanin, I talked about this a little bit, but it's your built-in sun protection. You don't need sunscreen. You just need to build your solar adaptation, your melanin stores. Everybody can build melanin, okay? I used to be white as a ghost. You see me, I'm tan, and it's only March, okay? That's because I did take a trip down to Mississippi. I got some UV there, but I don't get very pale in the winter because I've built up so much melanin in my system from spring to fall. I'm diligent about it because I know how important melanin is. Writing a Substack article, actually, I did already. It'll come out on my Substack. If you're not on my Substack, go over there and check it out. I've written an excellent article. I think they're excellent on glyphosate. I've written an excellent one on melanin. I have a lot of ones coming out on sunlight for you guys. I've written a lot of things on artificial blue light and incandescent light bulbs and all kinds of really good stuff. So check those out. But melanin is one of the most powerful molecules in the body. It helps absorb that UV light. It dissipates that energy safely, which neutralizes free radicals and actually even helps your detoxification process work better and actually even detoxes heavy metals. So the more time you spend gradually building sunlight exposure, the more melanin your body produces. That's your natural sunscreen. Okay. So just a quick little, bit about how to build your solar callus. Get out at morning sunlight. Sunrise light is where you really want to go. As soon as you wake up, you want to head outside and, of course, do what you got to do, then head outside. Don't put on artificial lights on in the morning and all that. Get outside, get that sunrise light in your eyes, naked eyes, no sunglasses, no contacts, no nothing. Get that sunlight in your eyes, get grounded, get your skin exposed if possible. My routine is I go outside and I usually take a walk in the morning, depending on the weather, it depends on how much clothing I have on. Yesterday I was in shorts and a tank top. Today I was more bundled up. Depends on the weather, but get your eyes exposed. That makes a huge difference. And please don't wear sunglasses. When I see people wearing sunglasses in the morning, I'm like, oh, it just breaks my heart. And people will tell me that they're getting vitamin D, at 8, well, it's possible at 8 a.m. in the summer, but at, you know, 7 a.m. when it's sunrise time. And I'm like, not yet, actually. There's a window when you can make vitamin D. That's when the UVB sunlight is out. Okay. So, but get your morning sunlight. I take about a 20 to 30-minute walk. I do spend some time grounded out before I get on my walk, maybe 5 minutes or so. And then I take a walk. Increase your, I usually go back, have breakfast, and then take another walk. But then increase your midday exposure. Start with 5, 10 minutes if you need to. If you don't handle UVB sunlight very well, but UVA sunlight is also really important. I go over all of this in my Get Your Light Right webinar and ebook. You can grab that to learn more. Expose large areas of skin like arms, legs, torso when possible. Avoid sunglasses. Light through the eye sets the circadian rhythm through the suprachiasmatic nucleus into the brain. The light signal travels into the brain, into the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and it tells the body what to do and when to do it, basically. It's like huge for your circadian rhythms and setting time in the body. Time is everything in the body. Of course, I talk so much about, reducing artificial light at night, especially to LEDs, fluorescents. Get your blue blockers. I have discount codes. Check out my free product guide if you have no idea what I'm talking about. get those blue blockers on, reduce the lighting. I love my incandescent light bulb from Strainless. I use this all the time. Oh my goodness, I just unplugged it. I'm walking on the treadmill, so I can't fix it right now. I'll fix it after. I love that light bulb though. It has a dimmer switch. I lower it. Okay. Key is consistency, not intensity and not perfection. Okay. Why this matters more than ever. We are living in an altered light environment in human history. We're exposed to artificial blue light, LEDs, screens, non-native electromagnetic fields. Again, avoid screens at night. This creates circadian rhythm disruption, mitochondrial dysfunction, which is at the root of all disease. If you are dealing with anything on the physical level, emotional level, whatever it is, you are dealing in the mental level, you are dealing with an energy deficiency. It's lack of cellular energy. Disease is an energetic disturbance and lack of cellular energy and voltage and charge. You need to increase your voltage and your charge. Grounding, sunlight, optimal circadian rhythms. Then move on to things like diet and nutrition, cleaning up your diet, homeopathy, flower essences, cell salts, all of these other things that I'm teaching. But light is foundational. Okay. We have to deal with non-native electromagnetic fields. That's huge too. We are starved for natural light. Okay. Um, and this also creates, being starved from natural light also creates metabolic disease as well. So rebuilding our relationship with sunlight is one of the most powerful health interventions available. Okay. So spring is nature's invitation to begin. It's the time to get outside. It's the time to reconnect with sunlight. And when I've said it so many times, healing is reconnecting with nature to thus reconnect with self, to thus reconnect with your intuition and your innate ability to heal. I'll say it again. Healing is about reconnecting with nature, then reconnecting with self, and then reconnecting with your own intuition and your innate ability to heal. Okay. Reconnect with sunlight, rebuild your circadian rhythms, and start building up your solar adaptation, your melanin stores. Okay. Start building this up. Your body already knows how to do this. You just need the signals, and that signal starts with sunlight. Okay. We have to get that in. So if you want to go deeper, if you're realizing now how important light is for your biology and you want to go deeper, this is exactly why I've created my Get Your Light Right webinar and ebook. Inside, I walk you through, inside of this webinar, it's like a master class on light. I walk you through circadian biology, what it is, how it works, how it's connected to diseases, root causes of diseases, how artificial light disrupts all of our processes, creates circadian rhythm disruption, and interrupts or diminishes our mitochondrial health, how to rebuild a healthy light environment in your home, how to use sunlight strategically throughout the day, because sunlight is powerful, but context matters. Your light environment, your circadian rhythms, your mitochondrial health, and your overall terrain all influence how well your body can actually use sunlight as medicine. If you want deeper support, you can work with me one-to-one. We look at the full terrain. We're looking at circadian rhythms. We're looking at mineral balancing. We're looking at mitochondrial health, detox pathways, and the root causes that may be preventing your body from adapting to light. But because when the terrain is supported, the body becomes far more resilient to the environment. Okay. So I'll leave links down below. You can support my Get Your Light Right webinar and ebook. You can work with me one-to-one. And remember, spring is nature's reset. This is the season to get outside, connect with the sun, and start building your solar adaptation again. Your biology has been doing this for thousands of years. We just have to let it do its job. Okay. Questions or comments, please link them below. I'm here for them, here to support you. Let me know your questions. I want to hear them. And yeah, have a beautiful rest of your day. Check out the Get Your Light Right webinar if you don't have it already. And also check out working with me one-to-one. And of course, if you have a sun intolerance, you struggle with utilizing the sun. You can't get out in the sun. It causes you headaches or rashes or things like that. Work with me homeopathically and I can help you there. I used to have such a sun sensitivity, rashes, okay? Never could be without sunglasses, okay? I would feel weak and dizzy when I got up from sunlight, headaches from sunlight, all kinds of things from sunlight. Now I don't have those things anymore, okay? So work with me and I can support you there homeopathically. All right, have an awesome rest of your day. I'll chat with you guys on the next one. Oh, check out the Substack as well. If you're listening to this on YouTube, head over to the Bright Light Wellness Substack. There are lots of written articles about these topics as well that you can learn from. Okay, doing a deep dive into melanin for you guys. That one's already should be out or coming out. And lots of things about light are on that platform as well that you can read and absorb and print and have the information. This information is not just mine. I'm passionate about sharing it because light changed my life. It changed my life. So I will never stop sharing about it. Okay, have an awesome rest of your day. Chat with you guys soon.